All right, so some people say Texas is hard. Do you ever come home one night and just got to get something off your chest and you don't know how to do it? And you get out your phone, one of these things that they sold you, and then you want to just talk to a friend who's going to project it to the world? Well, that's where we're at.
Welcome to Resoluters Deep Dive. We are on a long and lonesome highway east of Omaha with the Mad G Monk. So, baby, what's going on? We've been getting healthy. We've been enjoying your tunes on this
I don't know
show.
where to start. You know what? For all you listening,
tell me about your mother. That's my Freud joke for you right there. That's all I got.
Now, watch out. Talk about
it's Freud. It's not really bad.
I'll drive down to Houston and kick your ass myself with a big ass boot. I'll go
God damn it, you're close enough to make it within.
That's right. Yeah, you're about what? 3 hours, 4 hours? I can make it.
Yeah, you would.
No, honestly, people, this is no joke. Mark's just getting off of work.
Absolutely. I actually got off a little early tonight. This little shenanigan almost didn't happen, but I'll call it synchronicity, since I usually get off as early as I did on a shift like Reggie says hello.
Obviously, it was supposed to happen. But I had one of those moments tonight where I was like, I want to vent. And I don't even remember at this point what I wanted to vent about. But I'm pretty sure I can vent about a lot of things because my life has been so twisted and turned. And there are a lot of people who look at me and think that my life is great and fantastic and, you know, little sparkles and unicorns and things like that. And, you know, the truth is that's not reality. Life happens to all of us. It's not about, it's not about being immune to it. It's about your reaction to it. So right now, my life is upside down, as they would say, as they would like to define it. But I know in my heart, a year from now, I won't even remember it. So I thought when I got home tonight, I thought, man, I should just get on a fucking show, you know? And I tried to call up Jeffrey Sinatra, but he's so busy. He's so popular.
Yeah, Sinatra's on several nights a week.
Everybody wants to be with him. Yeah, I already apologized to him earlier, saying I couldn't be with him for a while because I was so busy. And then I thought, you know what? I'm gonna call my buddy Mark, a man who I've never met face, but we went to the same school, and the moment we were online, just instant connection.
Yeah, man, that's how we kind of help.
Call him man crush if you want.
I got lots of those. It's a heavy burden to bear. It's a heavy burden to bear. You know, all those bro hugs, all those wet wipes, full trash bags. It's terrible. Don't touch the socks over here. But you know, well, man, I'm glad to have you on, and it was kind of fun. I was talking to Jeff, to Jedi Jeff. He's on vacation with Daniel Thompson right now. They're out in I think they're in Florida. I think that's where they're going.
Those guys go on vacation together?
For years, I guess they wanted to go see Disney World and all the Star Wars related stuff, since they do.
They're going to man.
Yeah. So and Coy does the podcast Atomic Dork Squad with our producer Jeffrey Sinatra.
I'm a little jealous about that. Good for them.
I think they brought their kids with them and stuff. so it should be great. I'm getting a couple pictures here and there. But those of anybody who's watching, like that's how I met the Dirty Monk here, Mr. Matthew Dixon. Is we met on the Shelf Help Show, which was the original podcast, which all of us malcontents kind of regrouped together. Guess just over a year ago now.
Has it
And
been
which,
that long?
yeah,
Oh.
man, episodes that I jumped in on. Um, yeah, I hadn't talked to Jeff since we were in high school. So then we were kind of doing that whole prelim, kind of amping up the reunion and that kind of stuff. And you and I got chatting about music, which is also how I kind of reconnected with Daniel. Different types of music and that kind of stuff. And then you've both been musical guests on the show, so that's kind of how we're at now. But yeah, man, I get that. You know, I remember the beginning of this year. I got all excited because what do I think? Am I a year older than you? Or we're similar age. I can't remember, but
How old are you?
I'm 48. So
Geez, so am I. So
okay,
yeah, you are
okay.
a year older than me. That's correct. You are correct.
So being the year of the tiger, I got all excited, like, this is my year because I'm the tiger. It's the year of the tiger. And then someone who knew a little bit more about that shit comes to me and said, "Oh, watch out!" And I'm like, "Well, what do you mean, watch out? And this is. I've been waiting 12 years for this." And they're like, "No, no, no. The roller coaster begins. Watch out. Next year is awesome." And I'm like, "Oh, fuck that. I've been working my ass off for this past year for this. I'm doing great." Fucking 6, 8 weeks later, whatever, the roller coaster began, and it's God, I guess just coming out of that roller coaster now, everything's resolved. A bunch of turmoil to manage, and I was ready to turn tables over, and yeah, I wasn't feeling so hot about my life that I thought was painting out very well, so well balanced, and I just kind of had everything's agended out, and finally, after post pandemic, things are coming together. I was like, yes, and now it's like, no, fuck you. It's just
Wow, you just summed up everything that has happened to me. I'm glad to hear it.
dude. So I
Yeah, I
mean,
think that's the point for people to hear that.
yeah, because I'm blaming the year of the tiger, and then fucking China. You know, it's like,
well, I'm not blaming anything, but I got a lot of names I could blame, but I'm not allowed to because I'm still financially tied to them. So
yeah, I don't want to do that kind of
they would love
stuff.
for me to blow up socially, and then they could use it against me. But don't worry, you
I
guys,
wondered.
you
Ooh,
guys are fine. I
you,
will never say anything bad about how you work. You guys are all great and wonderful to work with. I will never work with you again, but you are great. Done. That's the end of the commercial. No, but you know what?
yeah,
I know what you mean. You know what? And
dude,
that's
I
I
think we're
think
living some simpatico shit yet again because I had some contractual NDA disclaimer kind of shit that I couldn't wander into with some of the nonsense. But yeah, I think things better, and some people are just corrupt fucks. But
yeah,
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 that
yeah.
couple bad apples, not all of them.
I told my girlfriend literally tonight, and I'm not kidding. Literally tonight, I said, I hope I scratch off $1 million scratcher, which I don't buy scratchers, so it's not going to happen. But
Yeah.
only so that I could afford lawyers to go and rip these guys a new place. And that's my nice way of saying it because for the last year, I have not gotten a check and I have not gotten a response, and it was ridiculous.
uh,
So
well,
there's some
that
there's
doesn't sound like reciprocation.
no, there's a lot of negative, but
No,
let's
as in, not getting the what you were talking about. That doesn't sound like they're reciprocating their end of something, which is not cool.
we had
And
a
given that this show is not zoned for children and it is late at night, we can say things like, "We get an attorney." It just makes me feel good saying it. Just like get it out there. Absolutely, give gaping a new association.
it's funny, it makes me sometimes feel better to not say it.
Oh, taking the high road.
Yeah,
I do.
well, I don't
I do
know,
that
but
a lot.
I don't know if it's high road, just to show restraint and be
Ah,
like,
okay.
"You know what? You think you won, but guess what? Somewhere down the road, you're gonna come back and you're gonna want me, and I will not work with you."
Yeah. Well, that
It's called
that
burning
happened.
bridges.
There you go.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's karma too. The way the um.
And I guess I will, I'll divulge what kinda sparked all of this is, and this is not a negative thing, but, um, I sold my house. I'm out on the 5th,
Okay.
and I'm trying to downsize completely. I'm going big time downsizing,
Mm-hmm. I remember you were having
which
some
is
work done in your house the last time I kind of impromptu hit you up because I was just driving through that area. I know you've been doing some work on your house. Was that in
yeah, and
preparation
I
for
told you,
selling it and all that?
yeah, and I told you, I'm like, "Man, I can't do a show right now. I'm doing this and things
Mm-hmm.
like that," and just busy. It's just busy, busy work. It takes up your time. It's kind of hard. So yeah, hopefully by the 5th, I'm out, and I don't know when I'll be back online again. So tonight's kind of special for me because I'm not sure how many more times I can get back on before then, and
Oh, right on.
how quickly I can set up in my new place, which I'm putting in an offer um, on Monday.
Well, congratulations. I hope that works out.
Yeah, I think it's going to.
Same area out there in the Bronville's?
Oh yeah, yeah. It's like 4 miles away.
Nah, that's nothing.
Yeah, I know. I know. It's funny moving your stuff 4 miles or moving it 50 miles or 100 miles. It's all the same cost, and it's all the same packing. It's all the same boxing. So I'm looking at everything. Like packing.
Ah, you're doing a whole house
That's
thing
all I've been doing all
and
day
everything.
long.
Fuck
I'm
that.
packing up
I'm
clothes. I'm like, what do you throw away? What do you donate? What do you throw away? Do you donate this? Are you ever gonna wear this suit again? Nah.
yeah, all that kind of stuff. Dude, I've had to move and changing codes and then back then here to Texas for work and just volunteering for those kinds of stuff since all the kids graduated high school. And it was downsize it all, get rid of the stress. I even had my furniture organized in my room to a degree where every stuff in the room would collapse in on itself like that because I didn't want to have to deal with the stress of dealing with it later. Um, I
Wow,
think I got it down
that's smart.
to a science. So I save all those borrow boxes, the ones that you wish you didn't throw away because they were $40 or whatever the fuck it is that they rip you off for at U-Haul.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah,
dude,
H Home Depot. Yeah.
yeah, everything collapses in on itself. I call the dudes. The dudes show up here, $500 down. I disappear. I land wherever the fuck I'm supposed to be.
Do you have anything you can show right now? Because I need 3 minutes.
You need 3 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Or
yeah,
just talk.
yeah. I
Okay.
got it. Do your thing. So, for those of you that are not prepared for an image, Jeff Jedi Master Coy on vacation right now. Him and I think we started some conversations on our last podcast where we're starting to wander into a little bit of mental health and the values of meditation and friendship has been something that him and I worked on quite a bit in not just our own, but with amongst the other guys and gals that are part of the Jeffrey Sinatra Productions umbrella of different, which represents the Resoluters really in the small little corner, but by and large we have the Shelf Help show that Jeff does and Atomic Dork Squad, and then uh, he does with John Trapp Transplanted Devils, which is another thing with him and Missy and John, and so there's a variety of podcasts that really all stem from a desire to be there for each other and to kind of nurture these friendships and to kind of extend some of that on to you. Um, Shelf Help Show, um, kind of endorsing the Santana Sultans, our high school alumni, and Transplanted Devils is kind of at the root of how we're all uprooted and we move to different parts of the country and that kind of stuff. And I know the boys get a little politique, on that show. And then, Dork Squad for all that is Star Wars, because that little nerd inside of all of us isn't going soon. So we love that stuff. But, working into this, we've talked about mental wellness and health, and Matt and I were chit chatting, and you're kind of, intimating, hey man, that mental health is important. And to get out there and be able to chat and share things with everybody out there, know that, you're not alone. We're there to lean on and to kind of relate to. I think Matt's going through some contractual things and the idea of selling a home. And selling a home is damn stressful. If any of you guys have gone through it, and this kind of stuff all plays a role when we're talking about getting inside, outside, all the goods, and then all the little things that we throw into our lives to kind of balance it out. Got from there to here, and welcome back, Mr. G Monk.
Thank you. Sorry.
No problem at all.
So I'll have to take a number one break.
That's your first break? All right, good.
That's right. Yeah.
Good.
Drink water all day, man.
So, I heard that.
That's what happens.
I'm almost hurting on the water today, but didn't shakes. Was able to slip in micro workouts this afternoon. We got a new Resoluter group member that jumped in this week, Mr. Seth Godfrey. We went to high school with. I don't know if you remember Seth or not, but he's jumping into some of the workout programs and stuff with us this week. So he kind of kept me motivated not to.
He wants to
back
get
off
like
and all.
me.
Well, if I remember, Seth is about 5'8", so he's got a bit to grow to get with your fucking beanstalk ass.
Thank you. In fact, in order to wrap us into your show, what is his name? It's really difficult for guys like me to grasp onto big, like, fit men to try to be like.
I was like a role model kind of thing.
Yeah, because you kind of want to have a picture of where you want to be. I mean, of course, everybody wants to be like Brad Pitt in Fight Club, and that's obtainable. Just drop all your body fat to 7% or 6%, and that's easy. Except that's not a livable lifestyle.
Right.
Nobody can live like that. Brad doesn't even live like that. You can do that. You just can't change your face at that point in time. In fact, I think that's what Brad's trainer said. The thing I read with him was like, yeah, I can make you Brad Pitt from Fight Club from here down, but from here up is up to you. And that's it's you. But he's got that. He was in Magic Mike, not a main character, but Mongoliolus or
yeah.
He's
Deathstroke
he was also
in the DC movies.
He was also in that vampire show that my ex-wife loved. That's how I got hooked onto him.
I'll get.
And actually, you wrote a book, and I actually read the book, so I should really know more. I should be able to say his name.
Joe,
yes, Joe Manganiello.
Or
Manganiello.
Manganiello. Yeah, he's that is an interesting Italian last name. That's kind of tough. I've seen an interview with him, and it was a weird segue of all the actors you could have brought up to tie into, because he's married to Sofia Vergara. And the two of them were on an interview, and he was talking about how he's 100% sober, gave up drinking. We've been talking about cutting back on that kind of stuff. And he is obsessed. He is playing Dungeons and Dragons with his buddies in the basement.
Cutting back on what? I'm sorry. What was?
Yeah. Hey. It's a voluntary effort. But yeah, I just thought it was funny with all the nerdy shit. That dude was his hobby with his gorgeous wife Sofia Vergara. He has his buddies over and they play Dungeons and Dragons in his basement. I just thought that was hilarious. What are you 50? What are you doing? But he loves what he loves.
But see, that guy for me is my guy because he's my same height.
Okay, and when you're like
and
6'8", 6'6", what are you? 6'6"? I can't remember.
6'4".
6'4".
No,
okay.
I'm sorry. I'm 6'5".
Okay.
Why did I say 6'4"? Jesus.
I know.
I'm 6'4". No. Jeez.
5.
Somebody else is 6'4", and I don't know why that keeps popping in my mind.
Dude, this is the sign of getting older, man. I remember it was like 2 years ago. I always like someone go, "How old are you?" I'm all 48, and I'm like, "No, I'm not." Like I am now, but 2 years ago I wasn't.
I'm 6'5".
It's like I've been 48.
He's 6'5", and I ran into this tonight with my dad. My dad and my mom. I brought them over to. We had a real nice night at my girlfriend's house, and I was trying to remember something. And my dad goes, "Are you having a senior moment?"
Oh god damn!
I'm like, oh yes. I'm like, my RAM does not function that quickly.
I don't want to deal with that
6'5",
shit.
and so is he. Somebody.
Well, that makes sense.
The problem is somebody has convinced me through a joke that you're 6'4", and it's my buddy who's 6'4".
Ah.
He's like, "You're 6'4". You're 6'4". I've heard it enough times that now I'm like, I'm 6'4".
Now it's in your head.
Yeah, I'm like, I'm not 6'4". I'm 6'5".
I hate when that.
But
shit
so
happens.
is Joe. He's 6'5", but he's just to be 6'5" and be as ripped as he is. Woo! I may be wrong in saying this, but I think it takes a little more work than if you were
it's also
5
it takes
and
for
being
being
ripped.
stable. You want to because it's like guys that are taller as they get older. If they don't work out and develop their muscle mass and balance throughout their body, you can end up with joint problems or an imbalance of muscle growth in your body, which can lead to injury pretty easily.
Well, and
Yeah.
the truth is, and being tall man is what I'm going to call it. There's a lot of circulation issues with your legs. That's what I've had to deal with.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. It's something that I didn't see coming.
Okay. I think I've been fortunate. Like my brothers are all tall. Like my nephews are 6'3". But that's all my half siblings and not into the family. My mom's brother to 6'5". But my dad was 5'6", and then his mom was 4'10". So mixing those genes together, I got stuck with my 4'10" 11, but it's not quite all the way 4'11". I mean 5'11". See, you got me fucked up on the 4. but yeah.
I know it's so easy.
So now I'm in. Now I'm shorter too. No, but I'm
How old are you? 48, 40, 47,
48.
49? I'm not sure.
I'm 48. I've already had my birthday this year, so yeah. See, boom, you got me caught up in it again. But yeah, been kind of just the way I'm built out is I'm pretty proportionate. Then I don't have really long legs. I'm more of a torso guy, so then I can build muscle mass, per kind of stuff. So circulation, which my mom had a hell of a time with, but didn't keep her down. She got those good genes. She was with us until, yeah.
Well, and the interesting thing is everybody thinks about height like you're big all the way around, but I can almost guarantee you that if you and I were sitting in a car, we would be eye level. no matter what, because I'm not torso built.
All legs?
I'm legs, all legs and all arms. It really screws you up. Well, yeah, when you're buying clothes, it really screws you up.
Okay, so you gotta get.
Yeah. Yeah. When
Well,
I'm
yeah,
sitting
you can
down
just
next to
alter it, that
somebody,
kind of stuff.
I just look like a normal person.
Sure.
And then I stand up and it's like I'm unfolding. You know, I
Fuck.
look like a
There you go.
transformer, like
You gotta have sound effects and stuff. Yeah.
yeah, and it's ridiculous. So that does happen. Everybody thinks that height is all the way through, but that's not the way it works. So
Yeah, man.
guess
When I
what?
was in my sparring
When you
days,
go
you
to buy
guys
clothes,
fucking hate sparring. You guys, you talk about that reach with arms and legs.
oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah, oh.
That sucked. Exactly.
That's right. Yeah, yeah,
Wow. We tie motherfuckers.
yeah.
It's bad. Not good. Yeah. So you're moving. You're
I am packing up my whole entire house, which
how long have you lived there?
since 2004.
Oh wow, it's cool.
4
Dude,
bedroom, 2
I don't think
stories.
I'm gonna have a bunch of shit. Yeah, I don't think I've stayed that long in a long time. I've moved around quite a bit.
You know what? I would not have as much crap as I do, except I am finding, like, when I got divorced 3 years ago, my wife was so smart, and she even confessed to me tonight. She's like, "I kinda feel bad for you now."
Did she
Because
leave you with all the shit?
yeah, she's like, "It was so hard for me the first time to just walk away
Mhm,
and leave all the shit behind and make it your problem.
mhm.
And now it's your problem, and now you're trying to walk away," and she's like, "I kinda feel for it," and I'm like, "Thanks, honey."
Well, then Texas.
Because
Just dude.
everything I find, I'm like, "When did we buy this? What is this? I don't know what this is." Everything I bought was guitar related, so
Mhm.
it's pretty easy. Not to say that I didn't buy a lot. I did.
Sure.
It's just harder to transport that stuff.
Mhm.
But all the crap that she bought, it was just everything. I'm like,
Yeah, the
"Hey, look,
nesters.
here's a ceramic kitty cat."
Oh,
I'm like,
good God.
"I've never even seen this thing. Where is it?" I find things that are
This
still
is all the
in
ceramics in my place right here.
yeah,
Little Reggie.
I still find things that are still in boxes, like, there's a hot plate. Here's a hot plate,
Mhm.
still wrapped, never opened. I'm like, "Why did we buy a hot plate? Was I involved in this? I don't remember."
Yeah. That's the I can't you're in a place for a while. I know I've been in this place that I'm at now, what, a year and a half? And I remember I got a new pots and pan set when I moved in, and I was like, "Oh, I really wanted to get the wok." You know, when you're cooking Chinese food or something, right? And I just kept in my mind thinking that I'd buy it right away. And then in my mind, I kept thinking, because I really enjoy cooking with a wok, and I was just like, "Oh man, I got to get around to getting that wok. I got to get around to getting the wok." And it's in the Amazon wish list, and I'm waiting. And then like 2 weeks ago, I went looking for something else in the cupboard and I opened it and there was the fucking wok. Somewhere along the line, I fucking forgot I bought that shit. It already came in and I put it away. I'm like, wow, yay me. But I was like, it was in there. It should creep up on you.
I cannot tell you how many times the even before this, when I went through the cupboard, I found 4 of everything, and it was expired. I was like, "She's
Oh, like
bought
groceries
4
and shit?
just of, you know, chicken broth and all kinds of
Okay.
stuff, just literally, I'm not kidding. 4 of everything and expired. I was like, wow, maybe I should have been paying attention. This is kind of partially on me.
Well, it can be wasteful, but especially when you work a lot, if you can afford to go out and buy a bunch of groceries and like in mass, then you probably can afford to go out to eat more often. And then you end up doing that because you don't feel like cooking for one reason or another, and that shit starts
Oh,
stacking
yeah.
up.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
why I'm famous with some of my friends that come over here, where they see my fridge, and it's pretty barren right now because I need it up, and it's just liquid. It's just fucking coconut water and Topo Chico and protein shakes and shit. It's just, but I get all that shit, and then I use it up, and I have like nothing to eat and really cook with very often, so I have to like, because I'm always throwing shit out. I'm gonna throw out my third fucking fillet of mahi mahi this week because I keep defrosting it and not cooking that shit. So
Well, the funny thing the other day was, okay, so Thanksgiving was kind of a disaster, but not really.
oh yeah.
Not for me. Um, my mom has recently been diagnosed with stage 3 cancer, breast cancer.
Oh man, I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah, it's I
How old's
think
your mom?
76.
Well, it's pretty young to be your mom. So yeah. No, like my mom was much older when she had me.
Oh, oh, really?
Yeah, my mom was 44 when I was born. So, and my dad was 55. So my
Your
parents
mom
were,
was 44 when you were born?
yeah. My oldest brother is 20 years older than me. So and he's clearly the oldest of us
That's that's an
siblings. Yeah,
that's an anomaly right there. I mean,
yeah.
40, especially back
Oh
what
yeah.
we're
My
talking
brothers were teasing me. They're like,
74?
"Oh, we thought you were gonna be retarded." No,
No,
74. Yeah,
literally 74, 70,
yeah.
1974?
Mhm.
Wow, man, that doesn't
Yes.
that
Yeah.
that didn't happen.
Yeah,
I
that's
mean, I wouldn't think.
my dad wanted a son. He was 55 and didn't have any time to wait. So, you know, he liked my siblings
Okay,
from my
for
mom's first marriage and said, "I want one of those."
wait,
So, yeah.
okay, hold on. So, okay, so you okay. I'm trying to put this all together.
Sure.
How old was your mom? How old is your mom right now?
She passed a couple years ago, but she was 90.
Oh crap. Okay, so
Mhm.
how old was she when you were born?
44.
Wow.
I know it did
So when she
hits me now being in my 40s now. I'm like starting family life over again. And it's like,
now.
yeah. Or like I think about my dad. My dad didn't have a kid till he was 55. So that's like
Wow.
7, 8 years from now. All over. I mean, I just had my grandson just turned 9 months. So it's wild.
Wow, man. That's incredible. I mean,
Yeah.
I can't believe that your mom I mean, today if a 44-year-old woman came in and they were like, I want to have a kid, they're like, well, you got to do these drugs and do all this shit. And I know they didn't give it to her back then.
Wow. They're just, yeah. But, yeah.
Your dad had some swimmers.
Fuck yeah, I did. Yeah, a few stories and then random photos I found in his house after he had passed away. Apparently, my dad had no problem, and he had evidence. I was like,
Oh,
"Go
that's a
dad."
whole nother, I think that's a whole nother show. I would love to know, but
That'll
not
be on our next episode. Longevity and
Bestiality. I don't know why.
I don't think we're gonna. I'm not
It just
delving
seemed
into
like it
that.
rhymed. Wow, man, that's incredible.
Just
Where the cows are mooey and the
uh,
boys are gluey.
yeah.
I just made that up, by the way.
Yeah,
Sorry, Cowboys.
it's gross.
Oh,
Yeah.
man, you totally distracted me with that whole entire thought. That's
Well, we were.
incredible.
Yeah, man. But we were. You're talking
You
about your
shouldn't even be
mom.
alive.
So yeah, they tell me that. Yeah. But no one's ever said that. I was just kidding. But you were talking about your mom. You're talking about your mom. So I mean, that's nothing news. I don't know her situation, but I will tell you, I have an old roommate of mine who I'm kind of proud of in this certain category. Kevin Hall. I don't know if he's on this Facebook page of mine, so I don't know if you'll be able to see the live stream this evening. But a year or so after Kevin and I were roommates, he's a few years older than I am. He got diagnosed with stage 3 cancer. Um, and they I think they pretty much told him, "You're done." And he said, "No, I'm not." And he was an old Navy dude from Jersey.
Good.
Um, and I
Roo-ha!
remember, yeah, I remember him chatting to me with me briefly. I instantly saw these photos popping up on Facebook. He went to his brother's house, and he wasn't necessarily a guy that worked all the time, but he went to his brother's house and grabbed his nephews and niece, and I can't remember the mix up they got of the kids over there, and they videoed them shaving his head because he had this really thick Italian hair, and he just took all this hair and donated to the Cancer Society to make wigs, and shaved it down, and he's like for a marathon, and he started training, and a year later he was 100% cancer free. Just attitude, just like, nah, not doing it. And that's no joke. He's had to
Yeah,
revisit, and that's been since 2007 or 8. I think he's had to go back for chemo like a couple of years ago. But otherwise, he even had been chemo free for quite a few years.
and you know what? If and I'm gonna speak out on behalf of the people who have cancer. When you hear these stories, they're inspirational, but I can definitely tell you if it were me, I would be like, "Fuck you." It's like a ledge that it's wonderful to hear about because I've heard them all. I've heard
Hmm.
I picture the cancer as a here in my body, and I shoot a Scud missile into it every single day, and all of a sudden I'm healed. And man, if you can do it, fantastic. But not everybody can do it. You got to call that mark.
Well,
And one of my biggest heroes in life could not do it, and that's Bob Marley because he died of cancer, and he could have got chemo way early, possibly beaten it and lived on. But he went with his faith and thought it was going to work, and it didn't work. And I'm not exactly sure what I'm going with here because I have no room to talk because I haven't had it.
you just never
So
know how it's gonna. I mean, we face
you,
challenges in
it's
life. You never
yeah, yeah.
know
It's
what's going to
it's
affect you,
it's
like your
it,
attitude.
it's really great, and I love to hear the triumph stories.
Mhm. Well, I can't
But
even say it was just because he was just so hard headed. I mean, because he went through a long battery of chemotherapy, and it it wasn't enjoyable.
yeah,
Um,
yeah, yeah.
and he had
Well,
some great family support too with his brother and the kids and everything. So
And that's where
Yeah.
this year, that's where we're at with, Thanksgiving was kind of a disaster. Although tonight was pretty nice.
That's cool.
Um,
What was going on tonight? Did you guys get together for dinner again or something?
no, my girlfriend asked if they would come over for hors d'oeuvres and drinks.
Okay,
And
cool.
when she says hors d'oeuvres, she's probably kind of the way, even though I haven't met you, probably the way you would do it. I mean, it was just this spread. I mean, it could have fed 50 people. There was so much food. It was ridiculous. And my mom can't really eat much.
Ah,
But she was
well,
like,
yeah.
I like the cheese. Like she found things that she liked, but she had here's strawberries, here's cheese, it was just this
First thing I thought of was a bunch of charcuterie, a bunch
plethora.
of
It was a
salumis and
plethora
dairies.
of things. So
The plethora.
yeah. Would you say I have a plethora?
Oh my god, what the fucking movie was that from, dude?
We're amigos.
There you go. Dude, that guy keeps coming. That's the guy from Romancing. Do we say this every time this guy
Yeah,
comes
that's
up?
right.
The Joan
Oh,
Wilder? You know, I literally watch
you want to
Romancing the
ride in
Stone
my
like,
pepe? My pepe?
yes, yes. Oh my god,
My
that's it.
little mule.
My
This
little
is my little
mule.
mule. Yeah. Yeah.
That's watched that movie for the first time since I was 12, like fucking 2 weeks ago. That was awesome.
Oh fuck. I own that movie, man. I've watched it so many times. And in fact, the new movie that's out with it's not that new now because I watched it in the theater and I knew immediately. It has I always say his name wrong, but Channing Tatum,
Okay.
which I like him,
Yeah.
and
That
whoever the girl is, the better actress, more pronounced, and even has a Harry Potter guy in it. Lost. I can't remember the name of the movie, but if anybody says that that movie is not Romancing the Stone rewritten, they're
Oh, The
wrong.
Lost City.
Lost City. That's
Yeah,
right. Yeah.
I haven't seen that.
Oh, you know what? I've seen it twice. I mean, I watched it in the theater and it's on Amazon Prime now. So it's a fun one. It's very fun, but it is. I can't say it's as good as Romancing the Stone, but it's pretty damn good.
Cool.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take a quick minute because I got something in my right back.
This leaves me alone to tell you all about who I am. I don't know what I'm supposed to do right now because you're probably not watching anyway. But hey, um, let me just grab that. No, let me grab.
Don't be saying fucked up shit.
No, I can't grab the. I'm trying to grab a picture. Oh, and here is a picture of my daughter when she was super young.
All right.
Sexy daughter picture. It's probably way inappropriate. Now we'll get us blocked. It's good enough for me. Oh, he's already back.
Yeah, it's well.
Just kid porn. Nothing. No big deal. It's my
That's
kid.
horrific.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding. You want to see it? Now do I have to say something? I have to find it.
Something. Aw. Well, I've seen her walk around in the back of the podcast, so I'm sure that's an.
Yeah, because she's 16 now. And
Yeah, she's like.
those are the shorts that I try to get her to not wear now. Isn't it funny when when they're like 2 or 3, you're like, "Oh, it's so cute," and then they turn 16, you're like, "Go put some pants on."
I figure the it starts creeping up when they're like 12ish. And I remember, I think my oldest daughter, she always liked to wear kind of boyish stuff and like metal T-shirts, not dissimilar from this and stuff like that. And I was just like, roll, just roll. Can't fight that shit early on. I'm not going to be your launch pad for rebellious bullshit. So that led to some good conversations down the road of, hey, this, I'm all, are your friends fucked up? No, I like my friends. Don't wear that. Yeah. No, but honestly,
Is
I
that
don't think
is
I
that
had
the
too much.
is that
Huh?
the artistic one, though?
Yeah.
Is that the artistic one who does the murals?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I
She's got some
remember.
skills.
Oh man, she's great. She's got some new shit just came out today. I'm excited about. She posted a little bit up on the Facebook, which was fun. Um, but yeah, I always love when God, she was 5. I mean, just turned 5, and I took the kids to see the Phantom Menace, right?
I'm
And so
sorry.
yeah, like it was good for them. I hated it, but the Darth Maul stuff was fun. It comes. She's in the bathroom for a minute. You know, the kids are out of sight for just long enough. You're like, what the hell's going on? And she comes out right as I'm walking up, just possibly be. She had taken a red and black Sharpie and made herself into Darth Maul, like
That's awesome.
with permanent markers. And we're like, yeah, school days tomorrow. So, and to her credit, this was one of those first cues of artistic ability because she did a really good job. And I'm like, that shit didn't come scrubbing it off. It's all that shit.
I guess my counter to that, which is not as artistic, is as all those movies came out, I went with my daughter,
Mhm.
and I don't remember which one it was, but it was where Han Solo gets killed,
Oh
and
yeah,
then Chewie's like,
yeah, yeah. He's
he's doing
losing
his
his
thing,
shit.
and then I look over, and my daughter's crying. And then we walk out of the movie, like, I'm thinking we're having a great dad and daughter day, and she's like, "I'm writing Disney a letter and telling him how horrible she was so upset
Yeah,
that Han Solo had died, and
it's horse shit.
yeah, she's just like, "I can't believe this is how you did it, and you let his kid kill him," and
Yeah,
it's like
fucking brutal.
I was like,
And they killed him before he got to share any scenes with the original cast. I'm like, what the fuck
I'm like,
is that?
nobody prepared me for parenthood for this,
Yeah,
you know? It's one of those radical moments, like, and I was like, "I'm sorry, honey, remember, it's just a movie. It'll be okay," you know?
oh man, my older two would be like that, something tearjerker or whatever in a movie, and they would get upset. Something was scary or monster upset. My youngest one wouldn't skip a beat. Like, remember watching Lord of the Rings and the kids walk into the living while it's on, and the older two were like, "I can't wait." And the little one's leaning over the back of the couch. It's just makeup and costumes, right? Just like 5-year-old at that point. And the other two are like,
Yeah, that's the
7 and
personality
8,
right there.
9. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's like weak.
I did have a thought earlier, and I don't know how to express it completely. It's something that I want to express to my daughter at some point in time, but if I can go out on a rant here.
Rant away.
Okay, so The director, Robert Rodriguez, did a very short something that I read at one point in time that changed my life. The beginning point wasn't that big. The beginning point was, if you're a poet, be a poet. If you make movies, make it. I think all his thing was just, if you're a movie maker, just say you're a movie maker. Stop saying I'm gonna be. But as me as a musician at that point in time, even though had been a professional musician for years, I still didn't consider it until I read it. And I was like, oh yeah, I'm a musician. I'm like, oh crap. Because you have to own it first.
Right.
And there's a little bit of frightened of that. If you're a chef, you gotta say I'm a chef.
Right.
If you're a poet, you're a poet. If you're a dancer, you're a dancer. If you're a sculptor, you're a sculptor. Doesn't really matter. It's not just about the art form. It's about saying, I own that. I am that, and that's what I am. That's where the trouble starts. That's where I'm adding that to myself. But
there's a fight internally, I think, with all of us, and being forced to define yourself or to limit yourself to a thing, or either that, then you get judged for being that.
Yeah.
Or
And then what he said beyond that, the part that really changed my world, is he said, and I don't know this to be true, because this is the part that are his words, not mine. And I am going off of literally over a decade of memory on this, so don't hold me to it if Robert hears it. And I feel bad because I know he's up in Austin and hangs out with Quentin, and I could probably, be killed immediately if there was a possibility. I'm kidding.
For misquoting. There you go.
Yes, that's right. That's right. You misquote me, Mr.
You better hide at South by Southwest.
Mr. Pink. Pop.
Fucking gay.
No, just kidding. Just kidding. Is what he said is, there are two types of people in the world. There are people, how do you put it? There are people who are technical, and there are people who are artistic. And I kind of understood that, because you have that. You have technical people, and you have artistic people. And he said, technical people always need artistical people. And I've used this in battle many times with contracts, where I just said, you know what? You guys are distributing, but without me, you got nothing. And that's where I came up with it, as of what he said. So it helped me out a lot. He said, but if you're an artistic person, he said, technical people cannot become artistic people, but artistic people can learn to become technical people.
100%.
Which is why I have my own studio, and all my albums, all my music, everything I do is 100% me. And I don't have to work under the function of somebody else. Now, maybe I'm not at the grace level of, not U2 or whatever you want to, name your favorite band. That was the key. When he said that, I knew that's all I needed. Become a technical person, even though you are an artistic person. And then you will have complete freedom.
100%. I'm going to piggyback
that
on
is
that.
all. once again, I want to say it one more time. That comes from Robert Rodriguez.
Yeah.
Those are not my views; those are his, but they help me. I'm not taking claim to that.
Nah, man, you're rocking that one because yeah, I've been in the hospitality between luxury hotels and mom and pop and everything in between, and um, whether you watch like a movie restaurant and a bunch of chefs or whatever, and developing operators and professionals over the years. This is my seminar that you're sharing that I like to share, which is you have you're talking about the technical proficient, you have the operators with their checklist and their financial acumen, and then you have the maitre d, the sommelier, and just those guys that work the dining room. Like it's their playground, and they build their relationships, and they're hugging the grandmas and kissing the babies, and it's all effortless. And then they just walk them through like this painted picture of what
It's
could
like
be
a
cinema.
dance, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
It's like a dance. Yeah, we're just dancing.
And those are some fun people. Those guys and chefs, bring your liver, But it's a fun group of people. But it's just but you have a lot of people that are operators, that they're bean counters, and they're never going to develop that charisma. They're never going to have that energy in the dining room. But those level of maitre d's and wine professionals that embody that can definitely learn finance and can definitely learn the practicalities of managing a business. And those are the people that go on to then own great restaurants and contribute to huge programs. I think of like Bobby Stuckey, who runs more than one restaurant, but he's known for one restaurant in particular in Denver, Colorado, and he's a master sommelier. Um, and a very humble person. Him and his wife, they do a lot of nonprofit work in Colorado. But just they do that. There's a video or a documentary about him called The Bus Boy that's on same guys that put together the Somm documentary years ago. And just watching that natural care and charisma for people, that acumen of knowing how to manage a business, it's magic. And those are the kind of people when you're looking for bartenders and waiters and busboys and whatever their role might. Those are the kind of restaurants when they get put together where people are like, oh, I want to work to learn what it's about in an environment like that. So that's how you put it all together. And that's when you're talking about how that gets you freedom.
Yeah, and
Boom.
can I I don't want to interrupt you, but
You're not.
it took a long time. It took quite a long time, to the point where, because my girlfriend used to work in a restaurant. She's Albanian. They ran a restaurant. She knows a lot about food, which is really good for me because I get a lot of good food. So that's fun.
Well, it sounds like you had
But
a spread tonight. Yeah.
oh, it was ridiculous. I mean, I almost took a picture of it if I was one of those, people who would do that, but
Sure.
it was ridiculous. Um, but I kept talking to her about, and I'm sure you've seen it, the movie Chef.
Oh yeah. With the food truck
Oh yeah,
and
yeah, oh, yeah,
yeah, it
yeah,
was awesome.
yeah, yeah. And and I kept talking to her about it. I'm like, you gotta see Chef. You gotta see Chef. Now, the first time I saw Chef, it was just a cute movie.
Hmm.
I was like, okay, I know that, the director is, or the star and the director is incredible. It's here's some money. You know
I
where
mean,
that
I
all
know.
goes back to. I mean, that guy is, and
Just,
he's running the Star Wars franchise now.
oh yeah, yeah. So
So,
money, I'm sure he knows it by now, but yeah,
he's so money, he's money. That's right.
yeah.
Yeah. But it was a cute movie. The second time I watched that movie by chance, um, I caught the relationship between him and his kid. I was like, wow, there's something really deeper here. But then by the third time, because my ex and I have talked about or not my ex. Jesus, that's oh boy, man. Can we delete that scene?
Where
I never said that.
Craig Collar.
Uh,
Collar.
that was a glitch. My girlfriend and I have talked about in the future doing a food truck deal.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and nothing soon. Just it seems easy. And she's like, she's running all the numbers. She's like, you got, blah, 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 blah. I'm like, I don't know what the hell you're talking about, but maybe we can do it. She's like, I got a place downtown that we can do this. It's like, anyway. So
Mm-hmm.
we got to watch this movie. And I couldn't get it anywhere on online or anything. So I just ordered it for DVD through
Okay.
Amazon for nothing. So we watched it. And I got a whole new experience because everything he made, she was explaining to me what he was making in a whole new way. Because all she does is watch food shows and cooks, which works out well for me because
Yeah. So she's walking you through the prep sets and all that.
I like to eat. So,
Keeps you alive.
yeah. I mean, I've only had like 2 things that I haven't enjoyed.
No, that's pretty awesome. I can honestly say in my life, I have yet to date a good cook.
Well, you need to get an Albanian, man. Albanian woman.
Clearly. I like cooking, but yeah.
Yeah. She won't let me in the kitchen. I'm not allowed.
Awesome.
That's right.
I was very spoiled this Thanksgiving because my daughter and her boyfriend, they actually cooked Thanksgiving dinner for us. So I didn't have to lift a finger. So that was a great role reversal. That was awesome. So my middle one, actually, Matt actually prepared the turkeys because she had to work in the afternoon, but he did a great job at gift of cooking between the kids. So yeah, we have fun doing that together every now and then.
Awesome. Well, I probably had more to say, but I was a little more amped up when I contacted you, and I appreciate you for jumping on. And
yeah, man, I think it was kind of cool us talking because like we've been through some similar things. I know we didn't go through every nitty gritty detail, but I think it seemed pretty similar. But I think chat tonight we got to find more to be grateful for than to be worried about.
yeah, I think that's the point, right?
Yeah.
I mean, Thanksgiving is not just about the betrayal of a whole entire nation.
It's just celebrating the murder of an entire indigenous race of people.
It's more than that. It's about turkeys.
Yeah, clearly.
And by the way, Dots, you guys are safe. We're talking feathers.
Oh yeah. We hadn't even said that yet. I love what was it? This was it Louis C.K. when he was talking about? Yeah. Christopher Columbus is a fucking idiot.
Thank you for syphilis.
Yeah.
Way to go, buddy. And now,
shows up and he's like, "Hey, Indians!"
And now what is it? And now what is his problem? I yank my dick out in front of people and jerk off.
Yeah, but he admits to it right away. He's like, "Yeah, it's me. My bad."
Hey, you know what? I love Louis C.K. I don't care.
That guy's hilarious.
You know what? If he yanked his dick out in front of me and started jerking off, you know what I would do?
I'd laugh personally.
No, I would just leave. There's a door.
Good solution.
It's right there.
I heard I can't remember. I thought I heard some interview where he was like, "Well, have you kind of looked at me? Think if someone's gonna do this once they get famous, it's gonna be me."
Hey, I do want to. Can I put in a plug?
Put her plug. Yeah, I mean, clearly you and I are in the same time zone, so we're gonna have to wrap it up soon because I have to work tomorrow, but not in the morning for a change.
one
which is
plug
great.
real quick.
Again,
anybody with Amazon Prime on their television, I highly recommend watching Barney Miller. It
like
was a
the
show that
TV show
what?
on there.
Oh yeah, Barney Miller. Yeah,
no idea. Didn't know it was on.
Yeah, it's on.
It's a classic. I used to watch.
Well, if you check my Facebook page,
Mm-hmm.
you know for certain reasons,
Oh yeah. I'm
have to change my profile.
so glad you said that because I've been looking at this damn thing for weeks, going, where? Oh, it's all come together.
It's Art Dietrich. Yeah. And I had to keep changing it up because I had a little stalker situation going on, and that was my way of kind of diluting it. So, but everything that happens in Barney Miller in 1974 through 1979 is exactly relevant to everything that we're dealing with right now, which means not that they're predicting the future. It just means it always happens. It just seems like it's new.
Yeah, I agree with that.
It seems like it seems new. It seems scary, but you know what?
Yeah, it's the same shit.
It's
That's
not,
why every time you're
it's
talking
not
to
new.
a real old guy, he's like, "I told you," because he's already been through it once already. Because it keeps happening.
Yeah. Once you go through it a couple times, it's kind of like, it doesn't scare me anymore.
Yeah, they're always saying shit like that. Yeah.
But the youth is scared.
Yeah, they get freaked out.
That's
Pandemics and global warming and all this. It just seems like there's always just one thing after another where they're trying to use fear as that big stick to control the public.
well, and in Barney Miller, I'm so far into it, but I do remember in one of the very few either first or second seasons, because they are in Manhattan, and they talk about being at ground zero.
Wow.
And I was like, holy shit. They're using this terminology, the same terminology that we use for ground zero.
Yeah.
So it's pretty freaky. I mean, there's a lot in that show.
Now I have to go check it out. It's been for a long time.
Go watch Barney Miller if you have Prime.
OG Barney Miller on Amazon Prime. All right, man.
Let's go, yo.
Hey, man. OG just trying to become an OOG. You know. All right, we'll go ahead and wrap it up. I will say for Resoluters podcast on December 5th at midnight, we'll be welcoming Jedi Master Jeff Coy back to his pod space, and we will be welcoming the musical stylings of the Chris Green project. We've got our first track. We'll have a new musical act. And then if we can get this young man to put together some new tracks, he always has something great. Blues tracks he's been putting on Facebook, like right. So anything you got on your phone, I'll be happy.
My studio's shutting down for a little bit.
So anything possible on the way. If you're on the side of a street with an open guitar case, have someone film it and send it up.
Ooh, I like that.
Yeah. But otherwise, my brother, I love you. Thanks for coming on. And to all of you at home, get your rest. And those of you on the West Coast, have another drink for us. No, anyway. All right. Good night, Matthew. Good night, everybody at home.
Night, Mark.